What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here, live to talk NFL tonight. You guys in the chat, we have some patrons of the Bottom Line View here to chat some NFL and whatever else is on our mind. And this is exclusively only for Patreon members of the Bottom Line View. We have Jesse in the chat, Busboys in the chat, Ultra, Kevin Durkant, and we're just going to talk football. Whatever comes to our mind. Of course, Kevin Durkant's the first one to say what's up. Were you eating again? All right, so I'm going to share you guys on the screen, so make sure everybody can hear you, and then let's get started. If you guys aren't already, make sure that you do join the chat, and yeah, we'll just talk some football. Okay, so what do you guys want to talk about?
So I just got a notification from ESPN saying Dak Prescott is signed a franchise tag.
Interesting.
31 mil. 31.4.
Yep. So you want to go there?
Make sure that you do join the chat. Sure, we can talk about that. So Dak Prescott, was it the transition? What was it? What's it called?
Dak Prescott celebrated signing his 31.4 exclusive franchise tender with an iconic
franchise tender
photo on Instagram. Yeah.
So that means he's gonna wait till next year to sign a deal, right?
Yeah. So I assume what's gonna happen is basically what this does is they went through this whole process thinking, okay, if we can't sign you during this time period, we're going to wait. You can sign your franchise tender, and then we have more time to try and extend you. So I think this is just buying them extra time so that they can extend him before the season begins. That's what I think.
I wonder if there's a good chance that he doesn't get extended until after, because I feel like he's going to have a great season anyway, so they're going to be basically forced to extend.
How did it even get here, though? I'm or why aren't they not certain? Are they uncertain about Dak, or is it just
I would be
money?
Okay, why would you be? Why would you be uncertain about Dak? Let's get started. Let's go around the table and talk about Dak and see what we all think. Let's start with Jesse because he's skeptical.
I know.
Well, Dak isn't exactly that quarterback that your franchise I mean, he could be. He has the potential to be, but I just don't see it in him. I don't know. I just feel like he's a little too greedy, and I feel like we kind of got a case of AB going on. I think he's letting the money get to his head.
Damn.
I get to his head, man. Come on, that's
extreme
crazy.
Case. Yeah,
That's
a pretty
going a bit far, honestly.
big outlier, but
Okay, I'm gonna go. Okay.
Okay, Buzz, you tell us. Go ahead.
Okay, so I think he has a good year next year with the new pieces of CD Lamb, and then Amari Cooper's gonna come back better than ever, probably. Zeke, one of the best lines in the game, and I say they make the playoffs. Which, I think this year, if he makes the playoffs, then he gets the contract. But if he doesn't, they might be looking to try to keep with Andy Dalton or get a new quarterback.
Wow, no love for Dak in this chat.
You want me to go?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go last.
All right. I think that if I were the Cowboys, I would pay Dak because I believe that he is a top 10 quarterback in football right now. I think he's really talented and that he's going to have his best season yet next year with all the new weapons added to him. The only problem with the Cowboys is that they extended so many of their players that if they do pay Dak, they're in cap hell.
True.
Yeah, and they got big time players they got to pay.
I actually tend to agree with what Durkant said. I think Dak is a borderline top 10 quarterback. I think he's coachable. I think he's a good leader. He's accurate, good pre-snap, good athlete. He has most of the qualities you'd want. Again, he doesn't have a cannon of an arm, but he's got a good arm, and he's put up good stats overall. And He's won games. I would pay Dak. The only problem is everyone else that they've signed. DeMarcus Lawrence, Ezekiel Elliott. This offseason they re-signed Amari Cooper. But I would pay Dak personally. I believe he's a franchise quarterback. No doubt in my mind about that.
Yeah, and if Jamal Adams goes there, they have to look at him once his contract's up too.
If Jamal Adams goes
I think
there,
that
I'm
Dallas
picking him to win the Super Bowl. I'm just going to say
I
that.
agree. I think that
Yeah.
Dallas should either, after this season, they should consider trading either Zeke or Amari Cooper.
I don't know if they'd trade. Who would trade for them, though?
I would rather trade
I-
Zeke.
So
I
I
would
think
rather
that
trade
Amari
Zeke
would
as
get
well.
more. I think Amari
Obviously,
would get
he's a
more.
receiver.
I think Zeke is a
But
better
Zeke is-
player, but I think Zeke is also more expendable.
And he's also kind of lining. I don't think he's going to be. We're never going to see 2016 Zeke again.
Yeah, he's that contract, pre-contract and post-contract. There was clearly a difference, and that offense
And like
clearly
with the
changed.
retire.
Okay. So what I'm getting out of this, I don't think they're going to be. You guys are just talking about how they have all these superstars and they got to pay Dak, and yet they're still going to get Jamal Adams. How does that make any sense to you? I think a first-round pick would do it. Well, they did say that I heard something today that Jamal would be willing to like put off his contract extension if he did go to Dallas. Can you guys hear everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm not watching. I'm not really in the stream because I'm on mobile. But yeah.
Oh,
Yo,
apparently
can you
they
guys hear?
can't hear you. Can you guys hear them now? Let's
Yo,
see.
yo,
They
yo, yo.
can?
Can you hear us?
Yo, 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 yo.
I don't know. Maybe I accidentally pressed something. Oh, Brian said, "Yep." Okay,
Oh,
good.
they can hear.
All
Blake
they
says,
can hear us,
"What's
they can
up?"
hear us.
Uh,
They
the
all
sign-
sound 15.
I think that's because they all are 15 or less,
close to that.
except Ultra, who's older but sounds like a female, according to everybody in the chat.
I know I am a female.
I'm 13.
Party's making fun of you.
Gender.
I swear, everyone in the chat, they saying you a female.
You guys should just call me Tom Brady because I feed off the heat.
Leo
Alright.
says, "Start, bench, cut. Baker, Big Ben, and Burrow."
Start
For next
Ben,
year?
Cutting
For next
Baker.
year,
for
or
sure.
Yeah,
just
what's
for
the
future?
question for next year?
Start Ben, cut.
That's a
Burrow,
good one though.
bench.
Cut Baker. Cut Baker.
Well, you don't know what Joe Burrow's
For-
gonna be yet, so you
for
cut.
next year, I'd go start
I
Ben.
think I
bench
think
Baker,
Burrow has
cut
more
Burrow.
potential than Baker.
I disagree.
I think Burrow has more
What I-
potential than Baker.
Not
He
this
does.
year.
What
Yeah.
I've read about like those elbow surgeries is that players usually don't suffer like a big drop off from them. So I'm gonna go start Ben, bench Burrow, and cut Baker.
That's what I don't know.
That's what I
think-
would go as well.
I think you cut.
Yes,
I think
yes.
you cut Burrow because you don't know what he's gonna turn out to be.
I think he'd be better than Baker from what we seen last
Me
year.
too.
Our favorite guy that's not in this chat, that one turtle, says start Baker, Sid Burrow, cut Ben, which is the complete opposite of what we're saying.
David
How
said,
you
"Mitch,
cut-
how you doing? I'm doing good." Shout out to all the new subscribers, by the way, including D Money, who says he's fairly new. Adam is in the
Big
chat.
Ben will be top 5 in MVP voting. Whoa,
Wow.
that's a hot
Who?
take. That is a hot take.
Wait, what?
I don't think Ben.
D-
You
Money
have a Ty
says-
Law jersey. Grow up, little girl. What? Okay. Don't understand that comment. Party says Baker was a god in 2018. Everyone just forgets that.
I don't know if
He
was
wasn't really a
god.
god. He
He
was
was good.
good. He was pretty good, but he wasn't a god.
I mean,
I feel like Baker's overrated. Underrated because
according
I think they.
according
I
to
think-
Party,
Yeah,
Baker
according
going
to Party.
27 TDs to 14 INTs is a god, but Matt Ryan going 26 TDs to 14 INTs is awful, according to Party.
Interesting.
But that kind of looks like the same stat line, but he was good in
I'm gonna be
2018.
honest.
I don't know about a god though. That's a bit far. Like
I
when we
think
go into
Baker the
god,
next season's gonna be Kirk Cousins.
When
He's
we
gonna be
go-
like a
when-
better version of Kirk Cousins.
when we go into god level, we're going to guys like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Marino, Matt Stafford, some of the greatest to ever.
Yes.
Am I right, Mitch?
Yes,
Matt
Matt
Mahomes.
Stafford is 100% correct. Who's better,
I swear
Allen
to
or
God, people
Darnold?
sleep
I'll
on
let
that.
you guys answer this question because I'm going to be
Allen.
doing a film study on Allen versus Darnold, and that will be exclusively on Patreon, so I'm not going to spoil that.
it's
Only
obviously
because of
Allen.
Nicholas Gill.
It's
Josh
Allen.
Allen.
It's
Allen
not even
for
close.
sure.
It's not even close. I don't know why he's still on that. It's obviously Allen. I don't know what he sees in Darnold.
Sam Donald was
What
not
does-
Josh.
I don't know
Allen is
what
much
Nicholas
better.
Gill sees in Darnold that's so impressive, but it's Allen.
obviously.
Will Baker
Josh
do better
Allen.
now that Freddie Kitchens is gone? My answer is 110% yes.
I agree.
Yeah, he
I
he
agree.
definitely will. Yeah, absolutely.
I 100%.
It's hard for him to do
Guys.
worse than what he did last year with the supporting cast he now has.
Exactly.
Like, that's going to be hard.
He didn't even complete 60%, and he threw 21 interceptions last year. And
Hey,
he just wasn't
hey.
good.
I think if Baker continues to be a mediocre quarterback after this season, I think OBJ's gone.
I hope so, because I don't want OBJ to be in a mediocre offense with a
Oh,
mediocre quarterback.
Where would he go? Is the
Tampa
question.
Bay. He
Where
did.
would-
San
If he goes to
Francisco.
the Ravens.
No,
the
he'd
Ravens.
go to
Yeah,
Tampa.
probably the 49ers or Ravens, honestly.
Yeah, him and Lamar.
That would be pretty exciting. We
He'll-
did have a question, Lamar or Mahomes?
Mahomes.
Mahomes, no question.
Brian
I'd
says
take
rate my
Lamar in a game
mock.
of backyard football.
Yes, Street 4. Brian says, rate my mock. Matt Ryan, Barkley, Jacobs, A.J. Brown, DK, Ingram, Gurley, Ravens, Butker, David Montgomery, Diggs, Golden Tate, Debo. How many players in this league? Okay, let me see.
Is this
Matt
fantasy?
Ryan. This is fantasy, I'm assuming. So Matt Ryan, not Madden. Matt Ryan, he's a solid fantasy quarterback. He's not going to be anything special, but like he'll get the job done. Barkley, obviously, I think he's the number one pick this year. Spoiler alert, I think a lot of people have McCaffrey first, but I'd rather have Barkley this year. Jacobs
He already has.
is a great
already-
number 2. I think he's going in like the top 2 rounds, so to get him second is
Yep.
really nice. AJ Brown, DK, it's a little risky there. Like, you do have Diggs on the bench, so that's pretty cool, but like, it's a little risky to have 2 second-year receivers. Although they have big-time upside, both receivers are very reliant on big plays, so I'd like to mix a safer receiver in there if you could have, but yeah, Debo's hurt now, so that kind of, I don't know really where he's going in drafts right now because I haven't drafted in a few, so I'm not sure. But Ingram could be good. I definitely think he has huge upside this year. Gurley, honestly, not a fan of this season. I just don't think
Neither.
I just don't think he's that good anymore, and I don't think Atlanta's really that great at running the football. He'll get a lot of opportunity at the beginning of the year,
That's for
especially,
sure.
but I just don't know if he's going to be that productive. Ravens defense is a great pick for a defense. Butker's a great pick for a kicker. David Montgomery, I think he's a guy just like Gurley. he maybe didn't show all his talent last year, but he has all the opportunity in the world, like literally all the touches, and it can't be worse than it was last year. So I actually don't mind the Montgomery pick. Debo, to get him late, is probably a solid pick. Hardman is good upside. Madison, good upside. Tannehill, you could do better, but he's not bad either. So yeah, that's a good team. I think the only thing I would say is just depending on, I'm assuming that's a 10-team league, but I think the only thing I would say negative about it is you don't really have that receiver that's like consistent, gonna get you like catches and stuff. But other than that, it's a good team.
I'd say that's like a B plus.
Someone in the
Mitch, I
chat
saw-
really brought up the mono.
Mitch, I saw a question about
What?
Devin Bush against Devin White after year 1.
Oh, well, you'll find out very soon
Yo,
because
can I
they're
can I-
both.
can I cover
You guys can
questions?
let me know what you think. But my
Battle of
linebackers
the
list,
Devons.
top 20 linebackers, they're both in there. So you'll find out who's higher.
Battle
go
of the
first.
Devons.
I think
I
Devin
think
Bush.
that they're
Bush.
both really good, and I think that they both have huge upside. But I do think that Bush was better as a rookie.
Mhm.
Yes.
I would say that Bush is better right now, but I would not be shocked if White
I would say
was
Bush
the better
as
player
well.
moving forward. It's really close.
Can I take
Yeah.
3 questions?
3 questions. What do you mean?
Okay. So the first one is from, I think it was from D Money. What are your guys' teams? So just say it.
The Lions, obviously.
The
Yep.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
You're Pittsburgh.
These guys would say that it's either the Browns or the Packers, but we all know that it's the Dolphins.
If you guys didn't know who my favorite team was and I didn't have this background, what team do you think would be my favorite team?
Lions.
The Bears. The Bears.
Lions.
The Buccaneers.
The
Lions
Buccaneers.
or
The
Bucks.
Buccaneers. Or the
The Bears.
Dolphins.
And they'll let you guys guess who my team is, because it's clearly the Panthers.
Yeah, obviously you're a big Cam guy.
I know. I've got a Cam
Yeah, Mitch
jersey on
loves
right
Cam.
now.
Mitch
Okay,
loves
okay.
I
Cam.
still got my AB jersey.
And so our favorite son, Nicholas Gill, has to leave soon, but
Aw.
he has 2 questions.
Okay, Nicholas.
One of the questions, this will be quick fire. Who do you have winning the division as of right now, Tampa or New Orleans? Oh, I've got New Orleans right now.
I have Tampa. I think that they're
Because you're jinxing
I
them,
think-
right?
Yeah, I think that the Saints are going to take a little bit of dip in regular season wins, and I think that the Bucs seem like that type of team that is primed to take over as the number 1 seed. I also think they matched up really well with the Saints.
I don't know about really well. I think they match up really well with the Niners. I think they match up okay with the Saints, but I
I'd
could
say
also
this is-
see the Saints
I'd
having
say this is
some
like the
advantages.
I'd say this is like the first year for Tom Brady with all these weapons. I think he could, like, everyone would think he'd take a step down, but I honestly have him taking a kind of a step up with all these weapons he got.
I have the Bucks.
Of course you do.
I have New Orleans.
There was an interesting question
And the
here.
Saints have a tougher schedule. First place
OPM
schedule
asks
versus-
how do I feel about Bob Sanders? I love Bob Sanders.
No, I was gonna
That's all I
ask
really gotta
another
say.
question. And the
What-
last question from
Okay,
Nicholas was, can you guys give you my explanations for why the Bears will go 6-10? So my
I'll go
explanation-
first. Let me
Okay.
go first. Let me
Their
go
can-
first.
Let's unleash their can here.
Dirk
Let's-
can't. You
let's
can go
go
ahead
through
and
the
hopefully you
roster
fill
real quick.
most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because first
Just
of all,
make sure
they
you
have
don't
no
take the
quarterback.
entire stream.
Trubisky is terrible, and Foles, based off of recent evidence, isn't much better. He was garbage in Jacksonville. They have no quarterback.
He was bad in
Their
Jacksonville.
offensive line,
He was really bad.
Mitch already explained this already. Their offensive line is like bottom 5 in the league. Their offensive line is really, really bad, and that doesn't really work, especially when you have quarterbacks that don't seem. Trubisky doesn't seem to play that well under pressure. He folds a lot under pressure. And their weapons are terrible outside of Allen Robinson. Anthony Miller is not that good. I had him in fantasy. He was a bust. He was trash. They have no tight end. David Montgomery can barely run. And Tariq Cohen is, I don't know if he's misused. But but I do think that their pass rush is getting a little overrated and that their secondary has a lot more questions than people think. And their division has 3 teams that I believe are going to have 8 or more wins, so that doesn't help either.
I think
Okay,
Durcan just answered the question.
You want me to?
Wait, so wait. But
So-
does Foles have a good first week or like a good season?
I think they play the
What's
Lions the
over?
first week, don't they?
They do.
That will be interesting. Patricia's revenge game.
Okay. I agree. Trubisky and Foles, neither one of them will be good. No running back that I have any confidence in.
There's only gonna be one good player that come out.
Allen
think
Robinson. Allen Robinson is good, but the right wide receivers don't scare me much outside of that. They have 10 tight ends. What are any of them good? I don't know. And to tell you about the quality of their offensive line, the right side of the offensive line for the Bears is Jermaine Ifedi and Bobby Massey.
That's pretty good, if you ask me.
I know, it's going to be the all-pro team next year, right? Their defense has some playmakers like Khalil Mack and Eddie Jackson. Those guys are really good. But, I mean, outside of that, is that really anything great? No, I think Kyle Fuller is probably a little overrated. And I don't think Robert Quinn has shown enough consistency over his career. And I think there'll be a good defense, not a great defense, not a defense capable of carrying a team to a lot of wins. And that division, again, like Durant, I have each team getting at least 8 wins. So
Here's the thing, though. Well, some guy was really mad at me for not putting Fuller on my top 20 corners list.
I don't think that's correct.
He definitely is.
It's. I think that I would.
He's like borderline
put him
top
in my
20.
top. I would think I would put him in my top 20, but he would be like 19th or 20th.
Yeah, like,
Border.
if he's in,
borderline.
he's like borderline. Why are you so mad at me for that?
Yeah, honestly.
He would have been.
No,
He was not
Mitch.
great last year.
Nicholas
up,
Gill
busboy?
is saying that they own the Vikings and Lions under Nagy. The Lions had no QB last year, and I had y'all splitting with the Vikings.
What was the score in both of those games? Can we please fact check that? Also, Busboy, what were you
20
going
to
to say?
13
Pretty sure
and
they-
24 to 20.
And also against the Vikings in the second game, the Vikings rested their starters.
Yes.
Mitch, you should have put Witherspoon in the top 20 quarterbacks.
Like they barely.
That's my
we
boy,
make fun-
superstar.
We make fun of the Packers for barely beating David Blow, but the Bears barely would beat David Blow.
Drew Lock is not overrated. If anything, he's underrated.
Big time.
Also,
Big W there.
who's better, Daniel
That is
Jones
so
or
true.
Minshew? And I would go with
Daniel. Jones.
Daniel Jones.
I think that Jones is going to be better moving forward, yeah.
Big time.
Oh, okay. I see a question by unknown.
Yo, can I answer this?
Go ahead.
What?
I would go with Daniel Jones, and I know this won't show up on the stat sheet, but I thought his best performance, arguably of the year, was the Thursday night game against New England, against the best defense in the NFL.
I just commented on a guy's tweet about that, actually. So I agree with that
yeah.
comment.
Maybe that's why I said it.
I think his best performance was versus the Bucks, though. I will say that. But I do think he played well in that game, but the stats won't say that because
Yeah, but Jamel Dean didn't play in that game, so
True,
that automatically
true.
makes their secondary.
it's
worse.
actually crazy how much better the Bucks secondary got with Jamel Dean. Side note.
I know.
Unknown
It was-
says, do
It was
you...
because they had
They
Vernon
went from like
Hargrave starting.
they went from like the worst secondary in the league to like in the middle.
And
Vernon
Devin
Hargrave
White got a
did
lot
learn.
better at the end of the year, and JPP came back, so all that helps. Unknown says, do you think Mike Hughes will step up? This is a good question. I liked Mike Hughes a lot coming out of college. I think he's going to be good.
I think him and what's his name? The corner they just drafted.
He'll definitely start, Hughes, for sure.
Jeff Gladney.
Yeah. I think him and Gladney are gonna step up real a lot this year because without losing Xavier Rhodes and
Future for Jacoby Brissett. I think he'll be a backup, and then some team will take a chance on him as a starter again for like a season, and we'll see if he can perform then. But I don't know. I think Jacoby right now is probably like a top 35 quarterback, 30, 38 maybe. I don't know, somewhere around there. But
He'd certainly be on Chris Sims' top 40.
he probably
I
is.
think
He could probably start on the Patriots.
And probably start on the Bears.
I think if
I think,
Jacoby were
Yeah,
on the
probably.
Patriots, he would compete for the job, yes. I don't know if he'd start.
Okay, Bus was talking about Jeff Gladney and
Go ahead,
Hughes,
Bus.
So let's
Sorry,
Oh,
we're
no.
cutting off. The little
Uh-huh,
guy's
uh-huh.
getting cut off.
I think Jacoby Brissett was very underrated. Like, if you look, like, he had a lot of throws to, like, Ebron, but he kept, like, dropping the wide open passes, and ended up making Brissett look bad and take it off of his game. So I feel like if he was on a different team with better receivers, he could probably be a top, I wouldn't say 20, but maybe 30 quarterback.
I'm kind of the Vikings guy in this Discord, I guess. I'm like the only one in this Discord that has them in the playoffs.
I have the
I have-
They're definitely borderline playoffs. Like, I won't scoff at you if you have them in the playoffs.
I have
There's
the
just
Vikings
a
in the
problem with them. I have them going 2-4 in their division. I do not think they're going to have a good division record.
I have them at 3-3 in the division.
I think that the
Yeah, I have
Packers
them
are
at
going to
3-3.
sweep.
They struggle
I think
versus the
Packers are gonna
Bears
sweep them again.
and the Packers.
Yeah, the Bears.
They
Yeah,
don't
they-
match up well with it. To be fair, none of the teams do well against the Packers though in that division.
The Lions.
Sure.
The Lions honestly have been playing pretty well as of recently versus the Packers.
Yeah, but most of those wins have come when Rodgers has been hurt. Against Rodgers,
And
their
most of
record
the
isn't very
Packers wins
good.
have come when Stafford has been hurt. Blake says, hey, Mitch, who are your top 10 quarterbacks of all time? So we were having this debate in the Discord, and I'd like to hear from you guys. I eventually need to make this a video because I haven't made this a video in a very long time. I think I made a video of the top 10 quarterbacks when I just started on YouTube like a long time ago. I do need to update
was
my
Tom
list
Brady
and
that
go
long?
through it. I think my top 4 is certain. Like, I know my top 4. It's
you
been
said
my
that
top
today.
4 for a long time. It's Brady, Montana, Manning, Unitas. That's my top 4, and I'm not debating it. Past that, you could argue like 7 to 8 guys should be in the top 10. I think guys in that conversation, I will give the shout out to the man that everyone says I hate, Drew Brees. He's definitely in the conversation. Brett Favre, Dan Marino, John Elway, Aaron Rodgers. Who am I missing here?
Matt Stafford.
Steve Young.
Obviously Matt Ryan. Just kidding. Nope. Who else?
No, Matt Ryan's top.
Tua
50.
Tagovailoa.
I'm
Big
probably
Ben.
missing some guys. But
Steve Young,
Stidham.
I think a couple guys that could be in there is like Roger Staubach could be in there. Otto Graham, oldies. Who
Terry
else?
Bradshaw.
Like Terry Bradshaw would probably be top 20, but not make my top 10. An underrated guy would be Steve Young. He's in that conversation. Those are probably the guys that come on the top of my head.
Okay.
Hey, Mitch.
Should I give my top 10?
What was Jesse gonna say first? And then you can give it.
Okay.
I was gonna say. Do you think Patrick Mahomes would have a case for like top 40 or 30 of all time already, or something like that?
Yeah, you could argue it for sure. It's tough. It depends what you judge it off of. Like, are you judging it off of career accolades? Because then probably not. But like, if you're judging it off talent, then certainly, yeah, for sure.
I would say he needs to play at least 5 seasons to be a qualified.
Does Ben Affleck own Affleck? No, but Ben Affleck, I'm a fan. I like him. He's dope.
Batman.
Okay, my top 10 quarterbacks ever in this order are Brady, Manning, Montana, Marino, Rodgers, Unitas, Breeze, Elway, Favre, and Graham.
Rodgers over Unitas.
Yeah.
Damn.
Already said Andrew Luck.
I didn't know you were such a big Rodgers guy.
I'm not a huge Rodgers guy, but like
Quadeca said the
I'm
white
surprised
light
you
big-
have Rodgers over Breeze. You
Well,
love
yeah, 'cause-
Breeze.
because Rodgers has been considered arguably in the conversation for the best player in football twice. Breeze has never been in that conversation. So that's why.
Becca said that the white Mike Vick is the top 10 quarterback of all time.
Tarkington?
He is. He is the white Mike Vick. The white Mike Vick is.
This guy made Tarkington the white Mike Vick. Where will
I
Jamal
know.
go? Asked Joshua. Everybody just give a team.
Kansas City.
Dallas.
Dallas.
Indianapolis Colts.
Yo, Mitch, can I just say one thing?
I'm going to guess. Ooh. Cleveland.
Who was the one that said? If someone said they wanted to say something, that was kind of an awkward pause.
Go Cleveland.
I say Indianapolis.
Cleveland.
Kansas City if they had the
Never
money.
mind. I'm not gonna say it. Okay, keep going.
Ultra, what were you going to say?
Kansas City doesn't have the cap, and they don't really need a safe.
I was
I
gonna
know.
tell. I was. I
But
feel
Jamal
like I'm a
Adams is
jerk
helping
for
any
saying this.
defense.
I want to say either Indianapolis or Baltimore.
Baltimore does. I don't think Baltimore would.
Mitch, I think you need to tell your mother to get another hearing test.
Cleveland. I'm telling you guys, if Jamal went to Cleveland, I'm picking them to go to the AFC Championship game. I don't know if they'll make the Super Bowl, but I do think they could. If they got Jamal Adams.
Durkant has a funny feeling about the Ravens not being quite as good as they were last year.
Can you explain this, Durkant?
I can,
Yeah, can you explain this?
about the Ravens?
I actually know where you're coming. Like, I understand what you're saying, but I just don't know if I can buy it.
I just feel like I just feel like last season teams didn't quite have enough film or experience to adapt with their play style, and like how often they like to use Lamar and guys like Mark Ingram and all of that. And I do think that their interior offensive line got worse, losing Marshall Yanda, who's a Hall of Fame player. So I think that that's going to hurt, especially in the run game. And I do think that teams are adapting more personnel-wise to stopping Lamar's legs. I feel like defenses in general are getting more athletic than ever. And I do believe, and I don't trust the receivers at all. I think Marquise Brown, he can be pretty good, but I don't think he's anything spectacular. And outside of that, they really don't have many receiving options. Mark Andrews is a great tight end, but I don't think that he can be the number one receiving option on a Super Bowl team. And I also think that their defense, it's like really good, but I think that Marcus Peters is really inconsistent. And I don't think that it's as good as people are saying it is. I don't think it's the best defense in the league.
Mitch, can I just say, I think, you know how you felt about the Falcons 2 years ago and about the Saints and Rams last year? I think Durkant's getting that vibe from the Ravens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was correct about 2 out of
have-
those 3 teams, by the way, and it's sort of correct about the third team, but not quite. Close.
He has his reasons, but like there's also external reasons that aren't like statistically based.
Like people are saying that they'll like legitimately go like 15-1 or 16-0.
This is the thing, Durkant.
I
I agree with everything you said. I think they can be worse in the regular season, but they might be better in the playoffs. I think like
Why did it
my
change?
problem is that they can't really. I don't think that they can really play from behind, and I think that puts them at a disadvantage against a team as
I
explosive
think
as
one,
Kansas
you're
City.
discounting how great Lamar is. First off, 2, Marquise Brown is going to be a better player this year. 3, they added another crazy running back to the fold. Their defense will be much better, I believe. I know that you said you don't quite believe it, but they have the depth at secondary. Even if Peters isn't playing great, they have enough guys to rotate in there to replace him. That defensive line, that defensive line is going to be scary, and I think maybe they won't score as many points, but I think they'll be able to win defensive football games. They'll change their style because they have such great coaching that they'll be able to adapt. So I think they're going to be a team that maybe they're like a 11-5 or 12-4 in the regular season, and they maybe have a disappointing regular season. But I think in the playoffs they'll be able to play any style and win.
I will say though,
I can't disagree.
I do
with
worry
that.
about that
All of
linebacker
that is
core. I do to an extent worry about that linebacking core.
Wait. Who we
Queen will help though. He's better than what they had.
True.
The
also
top 5
just a
players of
rookie.
all time. I'm curious to hear what you guys have, but mine would probably be off the top of my head. It would be Brady, Brown, Taylor, Rice. And the fifth one, I would probably go Montana, probably, but I'm not sure.
Did you say Randy Moss?
No, I did not, unfortunately.
I would go with the first four and then swap Montana for Manning.
What about Deion Sanders?
I don't think
That's what I
he's
was gonna
better
say.
than any of those guys
Randy
all
Moss,
time.
Deion Sanders.
And I love Deion too.
I'm gonna say this. I'm not gonna put that list, but if enough people join the Discord, I will do a top 100 all-time players list.
I'm already doing it.
You know what? I
If you
actually
want to
have it.
Discord, I'll try and
Where is
release
mine?
it.
I have it somewhere around here, but like I never made the video for it. Do you guys think I should do that?
Sure.
Yeah,
I remember you
yeah,
mentioning
It's gonna be like a
it. That's how
40-minute
long I've
video.
been here.
Oh, it's gonna be long for sure.
Mitch's top 100 last year was like 2 hours long.
I need to make it like an hour or less this year. It's gonna be hard though. It's very hard to talk about 100
It's
players. For
Like I got a lot of like complaints from people in the Discord on like, oh, your top 100 sucked, and I was like, it's
It
hard
didn't
to
suck.
make it. It's hard to make it. Like
honestly, these
Mine was
lists
better.
are hard to make. Like the linebacker list, I was just thinking about how difficult it was to
do you
make.
not understand? It's hard. Like it's hard. There's a lot of.
I did it. I
there's
did
a
it.
lot- Yeah, and
Durkant, let's hear your top 100.
yeah, give me 1
Yeah,
through 100
right now?
right
Current
now.
players?
Yeah.
Current players. I can send you my list.
Okay, send it. We'll diagnose it one day.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
come on
yeah.
live and
Wait, it's in the it's
and
it's in the other
analyze
chat. I'll
it
probably send
bit
it out.
by bit. Like any
Yeah.
little tiny mistake will be analyzed.
Yes, do that because there's going to be very
Okay.
few.
Yeah.
Is Stafford a top 10 quarterback? Hell yeah.
Yes,
He's
I watched-
borderline.
I'm
He's
gonna
like
say
10.
this. People have been sleep. I was talking to this person that was trying to tell me that Matt Ryan is way better than Stafford. I watched some film on Stafford. People are really sleeping
Was their
on
name
how
Ultra?
talented he is. No, it was their name was.
So
not
Durkant
Ultra.
finally understands.
Matt,
He makes
okay.
he makes some throws. There are some throws that only like him, Mahomes, and somebody like Rodgers could make. He makes some crazy throws in tight windows,
I'm not
and
gonna
they're
go-
all like
I'm not-
30+ yards downfield.
I'm not gonna say he's
Pretty
better than. I'm not gonna say he's better than Matt Ryan. But if the Lions win, if the Lions win against the Falcons, I will say that.
Oh, okay.
I think he is top.
I have
10.
them winning that game. I have them
losing that game.
Right now, I was just talking to my dad about this. What do we think about the Broncos? I do have them in the playoffs, and I will say this. I have them in the playoffs right now, and I think I'll remain that way because I like their coaching staff. I think bringing in Shermer there as the OC, being that he has head coach experience and he's had a lot of success as an OC, him just running the offense, having Munchak as the offensive line coach, who's one of the best in the league, as Busboy knows, and then defensively, you have Fangio running the defense. I mean, that's one of the best coaching staffs in the league, and they have an extremely talented roster. So I do feel like they're going to make the playoffs. How about you guys?
game. Yeah. All right, let me go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Durkant.
I was like, is that
There's not really much that I have to say that I haven't already said about the Broncos. I have them as the 7th seed in the AFC at 10-6. I believe that their defense will be top 10. They added Jarrell Casey, who is a very underrated pickup.
Mm-hmm. For a
And I believe
7th,
that their
bro.
offense is going to be really balanced because Philip Lindsay wasn't really that like bell cow back that they wanted, but I feel like Melvin Gordon's going to help him a lot in both running and receiving. And I think that Jerry Jeudy is going to be a stud. I think that he's going to be better than Sutton.
Agree with
I think
what these two
I think
guys
that-
said. I have Denver in the playoffs as well as the 7th seed at 9-7. I'm gonna say it again. Denver doesn't have any holes on the roster. They might not have a lot of wow outside of their edge rush with Von Miller and Bradley Chubb, but I think they're one of the more flawless rosters in the NFL.
I think that Sutton will be, by the end of the year, a top 15 wide receiver.
Ooh.
Mm. He would
I
have to
released
have
my
a.
wide receiver tier list today. I don't know if he's top 15.
There's a lot of good receivers.
Here, let
A
me check
lot of
it.
good receivers.
Do you think
I
Jalen
know.
Hurts will even
all it takes
start
is-
this year at all? No.
No.
Maybe
No.
he'll play. He'll play, but he won't start.
Okay, let me say this about Denver. They have a great home field. People
Yes.
forget about that too.
They
yeah,
do
'cause
play
have
10 home
they
games
play
a
10
year.
home games a year.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they have a great home field advantage.
This isn't even a lie. I think they do. What else do we have here? Could Stafford win a Super Bowl if he had a good offense and defense like the Cardinals? What do you mean the
The
Cardinals?
Cardinals. I don't think that the Lions
say the
offense isn't that much
Lions
worse than the
The
Cardinals.
Lions' offense this year is going to be top 10, and I'm almost banking on it. Defensively, though, I don't know what to expect. Like, maybe Patricia will have them
Okuda's
closer
a
to
stud.
2018, but
Have them in the B tier of offenses right now. I don't think
I don't-
is a
A
stud.
tier.
Yeah, I don't think Jeff Okuda will like step up like higher than Darius Slay.
I think-
in his
I
first
think-
I
year.
think that him and Trufant together is going
Yeah.
to outplay.
yeah, I think Trufant's going to be really good for them.
I know Durkant said in the chat
I feel like he's
Stafford.
very underrated.
I know Durkant said in the chat that Stafford will never, or actually he said Statford will never win a playoff game. But I do
Nope,
I do
he
think
won't.
Hopefully he does.
I have
Come on,
him
man.
as I have him as the 4 seed, losing to I believe the
Oh.
Cardinals in round 1.
Cardinals?
The
Cardinals in the
Cardinals.
Cardinals
Playoffs?
won't go to the playoffs.
Mitch, if the Chargers had a
About that,
great
no.
quarterback, would they go to the Super Bowl? Good
Yes,
question.
I do-
Their
I do think
their
I do
roster's
think
insane.
If
do think
they
Stafford is
swapped
capable of
quarterbacks
winning the
with the
Super Bowl.
Chiefs, they would win the Super Bowl. Yes.
Oh, I
agree.
think they go 16-0 if they had Mahomes.
Well, you're not
their
accounting for
roster's
you're
really
not
insane.
accounting for coaching, but I think they would win the Super Bowl if they had Mahomes.
I think
it wouldn't-
Mahomes could make Dan Quinn look like a competent coach.
What are you saying about Dan Quinn?
Yeah.
He's not much more than an average coach.
Exactly.
I think I need to see more from AB before I give him another chance, but I think he will get another chance, which is a
Same.
different question.
Plus, I don't want him to come back.
I didn't even
and-
hear what you said.
I don't want people to come here saying AB was better than Julio. So
AB
True.
was better than Julio. Give
He
it
was.
up.
Oh yes,
He was.
for
He
sure,
was.
big time.
Everybody here agrees. He was able to do everything Julio could with a smaller frame and more. He was
Okay.
better than
Big
Julio
time.
Jones.
JT Justin
Except he
Timberlake
couldn't
asks,
beat
"What do you
Richard
think
Sherman
about the
way
Bengals
he
this
could,
season?"
But okay, they'll
Didn't even
suck.
hear what you said.
The Bengals this season, they'll suck. They
The
won't be good
Bengals-
this year. I like where they're
Can I
going,
just get
but
this
they
off
won't
my
be good.
chest?
I have the Bengals.
Yes, get it off your chest.
Every single year, there's always people that are saying that the Bengals are underrated and that they're going to be a lot better than the year before or whatever. It happens every single season. They have no offensive line, and their run defense is terrible. And look
Their
at the
run
teams in
defense
their
will be good
division.
this year because they have the
Their
best run
first
defender
round-
in the league.
Look at that. Look
Their
at that.
Their first
Just
round-
look at
I
it.
hear
Their
the same things about the Redskins.
Their first
I
round
think
pick
the
was-
Bengals won't be good
Yeah.
this year. They'll be good next year. I think they're going to go 4-12 or 5-11 this year, and then next year they're going to go to the playoffs.
I've
The
heard
Redskins are kind of
Book
in a
it.
weird spot because they have like a stacked front seven, but the rest of their team is very.
Talk about the BLV league.
the
Obviously,
Legends
I'm
League?
going to win based off my first game I had today.
Nah, Durkant is
Did
definitely
you
the
see me?
Jesse King
Did
stepping
you
up for
see
Mitch.
me? I had Adrian Peterson looking like
But Durkant,
2012.
Durkant, do you have Jesse King
Mm.
on your team?
No, but I have Kevin Durant.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
Kevin
You
Durant.
don't have him.
he's
don't have
he's
him.
only 5'5" though. He's only
But he
5'5",
could- but he-
160.
And he has an
Anyway,
80-inch vertical. Like, have you seen
Anyway,
that man
You
jump?
guys can fight for second place because the Texans guy's gonna win it all because he has
Who's-
Ultra on his team.
Oh. Who's the Texans guy?
Well, Yeah, I don't even know.
Is that the guy with all the Instagram followers?
He
I play him week 2, and I'm gonna smack him.
he was the guy that I think he
Oh.
drafted Dilly Vanilli, but I could be wrong.
Drafted
I'm
Dilly
usually
Vanilli
gonna
on
win
the
it all
other
because I
Texas.
have the best tight end in the league. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Um,
We need to get on one of these with Dilly Vanilli soon enough.
Best tackle in the NFL. Ooh.
Tackle or defensive
Ronnie
tackle?
Stanley. Ronnie Stanley.
Mitchell
Stanley's
Schwartz.
pretty good. Schwartz is pretty
Mitchell
good.
Schwartz.
That's a tough question. Armstead's
I'd
really
give it to
good.
Stanley because he's an
Bakhtiari
elite
is
run
certainly
and
in the
pass blocker.
conversation.
Ronnie
Well,
Stanley from the Ravens.
Yeah, I think he's.
I'm going to go with
Schwartz
Mitchell
would be-
Schwartz.
Bakhtiari's in the conversation. Ramchak is in the conversation. Those are probably
I
your
I like
top
I like
five.
Ramchek a lot.
Oh yeah, I like Ramchek.
I like when he plays Lane Johnson, too.
Lane Johnson, yeah, he's probably in there.
Lane Johnson's really good.
Name the best team by division in BLV League. I don't even know who's in every division.
Oh, I'm
Honest,
the
I
best
just
in
know
my
it's not
division.
mine because my division sucks because Turtles.
Yeah, Turtles.
I'm winning my division.
Ugh,
My only
Turtles.
comp is Dank.
Okay, Nicholas Gill just said the Bears and the Saints are going to have the same record.
Wow.
Oh
Cap.
no!
Wait,
That
isn't
is a
Durkant
cold, a
predicting the
freezing
Saints to
cold
fall, or is that who is that? Nicholas?
I have them.
I
I
don't
have
know
them
why.
at like
I
10-6
feel-
or 11-5.
I
Not
feel
no tied with the Bears.
I feel dirty for having the Saints at 12-4, though. I feel like I'm failing.
My thing is with the Saints is that every single year people have them going to the Super Bowl, and every single year they find a way to
No,
fail.
most people had them winning last year.
Yeah.
Like
No,
me, I
This
saw,
year, have you seen?
No, the
I
consensus
saw
this year, the
more-
consensus this year is the Saints and Ravens. That's the consensus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have
pretty
one
much.
of those teams in the Super Bowl. I'm not going to mention which one.
I have neither.
You have the Ravens. You don't have the Saints in the Super Bowl.
I have the.
You have the
Jaguars.
No, I said you have the Ravens.
Okay.
No, wait, you have the Chiefs. I think you have the
I
Chiefs and Saints, Ultra.
I have the Chiefs and Saints in Super
I
Bowl.
literally said the Ravens were 13-3 and the Chiefs were 12-4. Okay.
I think you
the
have
Chiefs
the
are probably
Chiefs.
my favorite to make it again. I just have a gut feeling though that there's going to be
I'm
like
trying
a
not to
real
reveal
shocker.
my prediction.
Yeah, I
Super
think
Bowl.
the AFC, there's going to be an upset. I think it's going to be a team that nobody
Yeah.
expects.
Mahomes losing this.
And guess who?
Durkant.
And guess who that's likely going to be? The Browns. The
No, the
Cleveland Browns.
Bills. It'll be the Bills.
The Cleveland.
It'll be the Steelers.
I don't think that the Bills. This is my thing with the Bills. They're like. Doesn't everyone think that they're the team that has the
If the
best
Bill,
chance
if the
to
Bills
knock
play
out
the if the
Kansas
Bills
City
play
or
the
Baltimore?
all I'm gonna say is if the Bills play the Ravens in the playoffs, they're gonna win.
I agree, but doesn't everybody think that they're like the consensus
But I think
third
I
best
think
team
the
in the
worst.
AFC?
I think
I don't
the
think it
wor-
would be nearly as
I
much of a
think that
shocker.
I think the one team that matches up the best out of any team in the entire AFC with the Chiefs is the Browns.
The Browns, yeah.
Huh.
Nah.
I agree. I think that
Interesting.
because if they're able to
They can
be able
kinda
to, if
run
they're
it
able
down-
to
yeah,
run
they
the
can run it
ball
down the
and then
throat.
Odell and Landry can isolate on the Chiefs secondary, then that offense.
I
do
is
see what
starts to
you're
become
saying.
Unstoppable.
I
I'm
think
trying to
Tarkarius
tell
is
you
the
guys,
best
the
they can.
Browns-
The Browns have the pass rush and secondary.
I'm not sure if I
somewhat
trust
slow
the
down the
Browns
Chiefs.
coaching, though.
I'm trying to tell you guys, the Browns are really. I'm really high on the Browns this
Like
year.
the only other team that matches up somewhat well with the Chiefs, and you guys can laugh.
Patriots.
It's the Patriots. Yep, it's the Patriots.
It is,
But they're not
man.
making the. I think that the Bills,
They might.
Honestly, if the Patriots make the playoffs and the Chiefs play them, the Chiefs don't want to play them. I'm just telling you
Yeah,
that.
they're
Yeah.
a team the Chiefs.
Not that I'm picking
here.
the Patriots to beat them. I'm just saying that's a team they do not want to play.
Like I think the Patriots would have an opportunity to beat them. The problem is I don't think the Patriots will get that opportunity.
I think people are sleeping on Busboy Steelers.
I don't think they'd beat the.
I'm not sure about the Steelers versus the Chiefs, though. That
think
might
the
be a
Steel-
bad
I think,
matchup.
I think the Steelers are capable of beating the other somewhat contenders on the AFC.
They could beat the
but
Ravens.
I think
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
can
probably
beat them.
match up better
Yeah,
with
we
the
almost beat
Ravens,
the
but I
Ravens.
think they
Because
would
of
lose
Devin Bush.
both games personally.
I think they actually match
their
up well with the
defense is good enough
Bills.
to keep them.
Steelers match up well with the Bills.
I think the Steelers would beat the Bills in a playoff game.
We went
Their
8-8
defense is
with
good
a
enough.
third-string
Their
quarterback.
defense is good enough to keep them in any game. It really just depends on if
They're can't.
We
They
should-
have the best
offensive
defense in the
playmakers
league.
step up.
We went.
I would
what?
say so. Yes.
What was our record last?
A
8-8?
lot of people say the 49ers.
I don't think they do because of what we're talking about right now. Like, if the Steelers play the Chiefs, would they shut them down?
No.
I mean, it just depends if our corners can keep up.
But
with
no one
Tyreek
could
Hill
shut
and
down the
Nicole
Chiefs. That's the problem.
Okay,
Yeah,
like
the
slow them
defense-
down, not shut
The
them
Chiefs
down.
are offensive
The
power.
only-
I
the
think
the
they could.
defenses that could
I
hold
think they
them
could
at to
slow them
under 21 would only be the Patriots and the 49ers because of matchup.
Nah, the
The
Steelers.
49ers allowed 31.
No, I would say the
they were-
Ravens actually match up well with them.
The 49ers
The
were
Chargers,
dominating
y'all
the
are
Chiefs,
sleeping
though.
on that Chargers.
Chargers
The
Chargers
Chargers
match up
can't
well
get
with the Chiefs,
Mahomes.
but they're literally
but the
made. They're literally
but the-
made to beat the Chiefs. Like,
If the Chargers had Cam, I think they would have a shot at beating the Chiefs.
I really like Justin Herbert a lot. I think he'll actually be something.
And I
with
know
Chargers.
Mitch thinks I'm a Cam hater, but I'm just a Cam
You are.
fan teller.
you are.
Nope,
Mitch
it's a
loves
fact.
Cam.
He's not consistent.
Cam's a
complete over
goat,
60
man. Come
He
on.
doesn't complete over 65.
I don't care.
You know this about Mitch. It's the black QBs and the white wide receivers.
Exactly.
Yep.
Did you see Wes Welker
Cam-
in my Madden game today?
Cam throwing to Welker and Edelman and Scotty Miller. He picks
Scotty
it up
Miller's
every
gonna
day.
have like 2 70-yard touchdowns, and then I'm gonna be able to say something to you guys.
Those will be his only 2 touchdowns. It'll be
So?
like 270. It'll probably be
I
against
just-
the Falcons. Shit.
I just remembered that I don't even play Mitch in this league.
Yeah, I know.
Kind of weird.
David
may
says,
know.
"Why do you think the Patriots are not trying to sign a bunch of quarterbacks? Because they love Stidham."
Because they believe in Stidham,
No, because
which
they're
is
taking.
probably
They're
the
taking for
wrong
Lawrence. They're
decision.
taking for Lawrence.
They don't. I would
don't
be
think
shocked
Stidham-
if they got a top 5 pick.
They would have to trade
I
up
would
to
be
get a top
if they
5
got Trevor,
pick.
I would be scared to death if they got.
Well,
think
this
what
is the
people-
thing, though.
What people are saying about this draft class, though, a lot of people are mocking Lawrence and Fields to teams. Those are the only 2 quarterbacks in this draft.
Here's the thing: the Patriots have the most cap space in the NFL next offseason. Deshaun Watson to the Patriots.
Deshaun Watson to the Pats. That'll happen.
Well, I'm saying, okay, if Stidham isn't the guy, say they suck, say they go 6-10, and Stidham's just absolutely terrible, they're going to be in the market to sign a free agent quarterback or to draft one.
I think the Patriots might, after this year, they might start trading some of their guys that are 30 plus. Like we may see
Yes.
Devin McCourty,
I could-
Julian Edelman.
I think
We
if
may
they
see some of
struggle
these
early
guys.
this season, they could trade Edelman at the deadline.
Yeah, and players like McCourty, maybe even Chung, guys like that.
Here's the thing, though, with Bill is he needs a few of those guys, especially the defensive guys, to stay there because he needs them to operate the Patriot way. Like, he needs them there.
I
For
know
the-
he'll keep like Gilmore and Hightower and players like that aren't they like 29? But like he'll trade some of the like the oldest of the old, the guys that have been there on since like 2014.
Yeah, Edelman is
regime, I
candidate
think.
number 1.
I think that regime is going to start to flow out, and I think you're going to get a new team because Bill wants to win a Super Bowl without Tom. You all know that.
What else do we have here?
If Bill wins a quarterback, oh my God, if Bill
Wins a
Super Bowl
quarterback?
without Tom, I think. No, I got my words twisted.
I'll
If
play
Bill
quarterback.
wins the Super Bowl without Tom Brady, I think that there's no question he's going down as the greatest coach of all
He
time.
already is.
I think he already is, but if he
Yeah, but
really
people can-
struggles, like
People
if
still-
he like absolutely stinks and doesn't have another good year, then maybe people will start to question it though.
Okay, but I have them at 8-8. So how do you think people would react to that?
I think they would be like, "That's
happy
good."
or good.
People would be like, "That's
Yeah,
good."
that's good. That's a
But
positive
I'm
or
saying
not
like I
positive,
don't
but-
think the legacy. I think the legacy of Brady is absolutely sealed because people now, if he sucks, people would just be like, "Oh, he's old." But with
I have a
Bill,
question.
it's
I have a
like
question.
Yeah.
he was never
but the
good with
problem
Brady.
is the D Ford
without
D
Brady.
Ford play ruined everything though. Because
have
we
a
would have
question.
had with Brady, him having his greatest moment ever against the Falcons, to him playing a great Super Bowl but losing to the Eagles, and then him throwing 3 interceptions and losing to the Chiefs, and then we would have had what happened last year, and then we would have had him leave.
That's the razor thin margin of the playoffs, though.
The D Ford play ruined every. I know you think that game was a blowout, which
It
went
was.
to overtime. It went
It
to
was.
overtime for a reason.
It was
and
the
I
closest
wish
blowout
Durkant
in
wasn't
NFL
on mute
history.
Right now. Durkant, why are you on mute?
Also,
right now?
I
Come
do
on.
want to say, though, how many of those games that you're talking about did the defense not perform?
I have a question.
Well, against the Falcons, they got shredded in the first half. Against the Eagles, they got
So that's
shredded all
Belichick's,
game.
isn't that? That's his specialty.
I know. I think Brady deserves more credit than Belichick.
No, I'm just saying, like you said, you would have blamed Brady, right?
No, I said people would have looked at it.
Oh yeah.
differently
But
last
I think
year.
like you could say that about
Like,
anybody,
you know how
though.
people, you know how, but no, but you know how people last year were being like, oh, I still think the Patriots are gonna win the Super Bowl because they always win it. If the D
Yeah.
Ford play doesn't happen and KC wins, I think a lot more people would be picking Tennessee last year. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying.
I have a question.
Not saying I would blame Brady because I don't.
If the Patriots are like a contender for a wild card spot, like they're in the hunt, would you think Belichick gets Coach of the Year?
Yes.
They'd have to make the playoffs, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's
for
what
him to
that's
get
what
it.
he's saying.
If they make the playoffs, I think he'll get it.
Look, they're like if they were put in like the same situation like the Steelers, they like if he took.
If they go 10-6 and make the playoffs, he'll probably win the Coach of the Year. And it's not
Has he ever
necessarily
won
just
it?
because of this season, but because he's had so many seasons of success and being known as the best coach in the league where he hasn't won that award, and people would just be like, yeah, he deserves another one, so we're just going to give it to him.
He hasn't won Coach of the Year yet.
No, he's won it, I think, twice, maybe 3 times, but like
Here,
you could argue
check.
that Bill
Let me check.
Belichick could have or should have won Coach of the Year almost every season.
Basically. Yeah.
So,
I
like,
think
this is
Mike
what I'm saying.
Tomlin
Like, it would
deserves-
be like a career achievement award, is what I'm saying.
I think
Lifetime
Tomlin
achievement.
deserved to win it last year, in my opinion.
He was
If they would have
close.
made the playoffs.
I think if they would have beat the Ravens.
Okay, he was named the Coach of the Year in 2003, 2007, and 2010.
That's 3.
Somehow,
Oh,
he
that's
didn't win it in 08?
No,
Wow.
because they didn't make the playoffs, even though they went 11-5. I don't know how that was possible. That's the one time the Dolphins fluked the division win.
Classic Durkant. Mitch, are Broncos a dark horse for Super Bowl? I don't think they're a dark horse for the Super Bowl, but they're certainly a playoff caliber team.
They're
Like a
not in my
divisional round
bubble.
of the-
Okay,
but
yeah.
I don't think
Durkant,
they
we were
can win the Super Bowl, though.
we were just talking about how the Chiefs-Patriots AFC Championship game was a blowout.
A blowout that was in overtime.
I think Gronk's
biggest.
gonna win.
It's the closest blowout of all time. I'm trying to tell you.
No.
And you guys are funny because you just think the Chiefs would have beat the Rams, which is totally not true.
They would have.
definitely.
They
They would have
definitely
definitely.
The way
would've.
Goff played.
They
would've
wouldn't. He wouldn't have
completely-
played like that versus the Chiefs defense.
No, it's just Goff doesn't have a clutch gene.
Yeah, but he smacked around the Chiefs defense in the regular season, and Mahomes choked.
I feel like they scored 51 points. It choked. Wow.
Leo says, I got an interesting one. Would you rather have Bill at head coach and a bunch of bums at DC and OC, or Andy Reid at head coach, Sean Payton at OC, and Mike Tomlin at DC? Okay.
Andy Reid.
I would
Andy
rather
Reid was
have
second.
Bill
I'd rather have
Belichick.
Sean.
Reason is because
What?
Sean Payton and Andy Reid, they both coach offense. Doesn't matter. And Mike Tomlin personally wouldn't be my pick at DC, but regardless,
I think
I'd rather
Mike
take the
Tomlin
greatest coach of all
improved
time.
last year.
Wasn't Mike Tomlin DC at Tampa?
He was. But he wouldn't be my pick as the top defensive mind in the league. But
Oh no, the best defensive mind in the league probably still Belichick.
No, bro, it's Matt Patricia, dude.
That's a shot by Busboy.
I like the Lions this year, kind of, but like Matt Patricia is not one of the reasons. The reasons I
Hey,
kind
you
of
never
like
know.
them is
Hey,
Matt.
if the Lions make the playoffs, you think he wins Coach of the Year?
If the Lions make the playoffs, I'll say Stafford's like where would I put him?
My
Who
early pick
has
for
the
Coach of
worst
Year,
ref right now? What?
Bruce Arians
What?
gets Coach of the Year.
Bruce Arians is not gonna win. I don't
Like
think.
who?
Bruce
I think
Arians
it
will
means who has the worst luck with the refs.
I think
would
Houston
say-
can win the AFC South because of Deshaun Watson.
Mitch,
but
Mitch, the question was who has the worst luck with the refs, and it is 100% the Lions. Like it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
even a
Oh
debate.
yeah.
The Lions
Saints.
always get
The
screwed.
Saints.
No, the Saints got screwed.
One game.
The Saints got they didn't even get screwed last game. They got screwed one game. The Lions have been getting screwed for like 25
Have you
years.
seen that video on YouTube where it's like the refs screw the Lions, like all the highlights?
Yeah, it was like called Detroit versus everybody or something like that. Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Where do you rank the 2002 Bucks in terms of what? Defense, team all time? What are you talking
I
about?
think they're the fifth best defense.
David
I'd say
Johnson,
defense.
comeback player of the year. I'm gonna say no, but I do think he'll have a better year than people think, just because he'll
You
get
want
the
to know
ball a
who
lot.
my comeback player of the year?
Gronk.
Make
Ben.
a few
Who?
people in this chat happy.
Gronk.
Big Ben.
It's Ben.
No.
I would love to see that.
Who else could it be?
It'll be Ben. It'll be
Or J.J.
Gronk.
Watt.
JJ Watt. JJ Watt's always in it because he's always hurt.
JJ Watt shouldn't even be allowed to win the award anymore.
I know.
Phillip Rivers is a good one.
Maybe.
Matthew Stafford.
Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
Well,
I
he
guess.
played half. I mean, he did play half the year, so I don't know if it's really a comeback. And he was like one of the better quarterbacks in the league when he was playing, so I don't know if he's.
I'd say
Coming
Juju
back.
can make a case.
Mitch, you should do a video on like the big people who
Drew
are
Brees
reviving
comeback player of the year for missing a quarter of the year.
No.
Dabble.
Do you think
With
Damon
Tommy.
Harrison will get signed on a team? Yes.
According to PFF,
He should.
he was ass last year.
Wait, how much is Damon Harrison going for like a large contract, or is he like going for like $1 million or something?
Is that an official stat from PFF? They said he's officially ass.
No, his grade went from like 90 to 63.
Mason Jones asked, could the Bills sign Clowney and Adams? If so, are they the best defense? They won't
Yeah,
get.
I
They
don't
won't
know.
get Adams.
Do they have,
If
If
they
they
get-
did, they would be
If
the
they
best
got
defense
Clown,
for sure, but they
if
don't.
they got Clowney, then they would be. If they got Clowney, they'd probably be the best defense.
Yeah, I
The
think
one-
so
the
too.
The one thing they
Didn't
the one thing they kind of lack is like a truly just dominant pass rusher, and Clowney is that.
Clowney's a
And he's amazing versus the run.
yeah,
Vince
yeah.
Wilfork's
He's a
gonna
more of a
win the
run
line.
stuffer than a.
But
that would be
he's
good
not
for
a
the
sack
team.
guy. He is a good pass rusher. He's
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's not gonna wow you. Like the casual NFL fans, like Nicholas Gill, will just look
Yeah.
at the numbers.
wow,
the
you guys are-
shade.
I don't
Yeah.
think Nicholas Gill is a casual fan because he like looks at a lot of stuff. I just think he's very misinformed.
he's uneducated.
uncensored Mitch.
Nicholas Gill, watch it right now, crying.
I just wanted to.
I don't think he's watching anymore. I think he. left.
Ravens are
He's
getting
gonna rewatch.
Clowney and Adams. Oh my goodness.
I feel like whoever.
Didn't Clowney turn down a contract for the
Yeah.
Browns?
Yeah, that was pretty.
That was
stupid.
so
But the
dumb.
No, but I know why he's doing it though, because like he wants to, because they offered like him like a 1 year deal, and he wants to be on a team like for a long time to like solidify himself on a team.
Those odds aren't looking too good.
Like he wants to get a max deal, like with like a multi.
It's not gonna happen,
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
and I don't even know if I would pay him that.
I feel like the Colts might try
He's
to get
he's
him.
good, but I don't think he's elite by any means.
Nicholas
I
is
feel like the
pissed.
Colts.
Pay him what?
I feel like
What would
the
you guys
Colts-
pay him?
Dang, Ultra, you touched a nerve. Look at the chat.
I would try and give him a 1 year deal, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Is he just gonna retire? Because it seems like nobody wants him at this point. Honestly.
Am I dumb? Who's MIP?
Y'all see that AB dropped that new album?
He dropped an
Yeah,
album.
his music
No,
is.
I didn't see
Do
it.
not listen to AB's music. It's the worst we've ever heard.
Is it better than your music, Durkant?
It's
Man,
way
he
worse
is-
than my
he is-
music.
he is
I drop
pissed. It's a joke.
bangers on a weekly basis.
I still haven't heard the track for BLV.
I know.
It's coming.
Hold up. I have not
Where's
heard
We're
the
it.
subscribe?
taking our time with that one. We have to make it pop.
How much for a feature?
And I gotta, cause I'm the writer. I'm the one who writes the songs.
Mitch, why do you say you created a star?
Because I put him over.
He tried to put over the Ravens user, but that didn't work.
Yeah, he's not a star. He doesn't have any skills. At least Durkant has some skills in his toolbox. Unknown
Okay,
says, will Gronk realistically be the starting tight end on the Bucks? I would say no, because he's
think
gonna
trade
play some
over.
snaps. They're gonna rotate all three of them, but I do think when it comes to big games, Gronk will play more often. I just don't think that they're gonna use him on an every down basis the way that the Patriots did. So I don't think he will be
that Gronk's
starting.
gonna come back. I think Gronk's gonna come back even better. He seems to. I think he's gonna be a little faster since he's.
Y'all
slimmed
see
down
his
Probably.
and
beard?
everything. And he's
That
still
beard-
a dominant. He's still gonna be a dominant blocker.
That beard looking nasty.
I do agree with Durkant though. I do think he's gonna be more agile and maybe quick, faster.
quicker.
Just because he's gonna be probably not as heavy and beaten down.
Yeah.
But I just don't expect them to put the full load on him.
Mason
They don't have
Jones,
to. They have the weapons outside of him anyway.
Mason Jones says if the Saints were to sign Adams or Clowney, who would they choose? Who would be the better?
They would sign
Adams.
Clowney.
I would sign
Clowney would make more sense, but they don't have any money, so
Could you imagine Clowney and Cameron Jordan?
yeah, that would be pretty stacked.
What is the worst Super Bowl? Falcons versus Broncos 99 was the worst.
I would say Patriots Rams 2019. That just
I would say the Broncos and
3 to 13.
Panthers.
The most
the
boring
Broncos
Oh, yeah, that
Panthers
game was
sucked because
that game was terrible.
no Carolina Panther decided to show up on the offensive side of the ball. But the same thing happened with the Rams. So
I don't argue.
Mitch, last question. How big of a loss is Brooks for the Eagles O-line? Huge
Very
loss.
underrated too.
yeah,
he was. I would argue that he was the best player on their entire team.
all I'm gonna say, I think that's Wentz. But all I'm gonna say is I had a feeling Dallas was better all off season, and now I'm doubling down.
And you were wrong.
And he was
I'm
correct.
I was right.
He was
I know
wrong.
I'm right.
Philly.
I'm definitely
I
right about
swear
that.
y'all were sleeping so hard on Philly. But that's a bad injury, and it's a sign
I
of
literally
things to come.
had them as the 8th seed.
Was
I
Gilmore
had-
the Gilmore pick for best corner bias? No, I don't think so.
No, Gilmore's the best corner in the league.
Yeah.
He only had
I mean,
three.
he plays primarily man to man. Burnt the least in the league. That's
yeah,
really
because
all
the Patriots
that has to
play
be
more
said.
man than anyone, and he only got.
And he's
he only-
always on an island on the best receiver. That's all
I
that
will
has
say
to be said.
he did end off the year a little bit
Devontae Parker was killing him.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, he
Devontae
It's
murdered.
literally
Parker.
that one game that everyone talks about.
No, DeAndre Hopkins kind of did a little too.
Well, didn't he have 50 yards? He had a couple catches that were big.
And,
I'll give you that.
John Brown made a play.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
remember the
big downs.
plays.
Hopkins had
That's how good he was, that you can remember the catches on him.
I know he's awesome. Gilmore's awesome. He would shut down 98% of the receivers in the NFL.
Bradley Chubb for comeback player of the year. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
Juju on a days.
That's a good one.
That's an interesting. That's a
To be fair,
outside the box one.
Is Gilmore Hall of Fame?
Who?
I think not yet. I don't think he's there yet, but I think he probably will be there. Like if he has one more All-Pro year, he's probably in the Hall of Fame.
I think
Gilmore?
winning Defensive Player of the Year helps him a lot in terms of getting.
Yeah,
to the Hall
Gilmore,
of Fame.
and he got that huge interception in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I thought he should have won MVP in that game personally over Edelman. Edelman was great, but I thought Gilmore was a little better.
I think. Oh my God, Prime Sherman or Prime Gilmore?
Prime
Sherman.
I think that he was just
The
Prime
Legion of
Sherman
Boom
was
was
one of the most
killer.
versatile corners I've ever seen.
Prime Sherman was like the only corner that could shut down AB.
The Legion of Boom was.
Oh yeah,
definitely one of the
he
best.
shut AB down completely.
Mitch, was Super Bowl III the biggest upset in Super Bowl history? Oh.
I mean,
Who played in that Super Bowl?
I would argue Super Bowl 45 was a huge upset.
I think Super
David Tyree.
That's 42. Super
Oh,
Bowl
42, I'm sorry.
I think
But I
Super
would- I
Bowl
would say
36
that
was a
up
big upset. Patriots over Rams.
I don't know if that's probably one of the biggest, yeah.
And Super Bowl 42, probably Super
and
Bowl
Super
3.
Bowl 51 because you know that the Falcons blew out the Patriots when nobody's seen it coming.
No, the Falcons actually, I think it wasn't
No, it
that
was
big
only
of,
like
a
it was only
spread.
like 6 points or something like that.
What was the spread?
Or
I
4
think it
points.
was-
You could say Super Bowl
the spread was
52,
4.5.
50.
The spread was 4.5 for New England in that game, so it wasn't that big of a spread.
How big was the Panthers Broncos upset? Because I could have sworn that everybody was picking Carolina.
Yeah, that's
It was
what I
like
was
10
asking.
points.
It
I
wasn't
remember
that big. It was only like 6.
I remember it was 6.5. I remember I picked Denver and everyone laughed, and look what happened.
Yeah, because people always get hyped over teams like Carolina.
I knew Cam. would
Honestly,
fail
all
in
you
the
have to
biggest
do
moment.
is pick the team that beat New England for like the last pick New England or the team that beat New
except
England.
Except the Titans, but yeah.
Yeah.
The Titans' playoff runs had to be one of the most exciting to watch.
Was it exciting though? It was kind of
I think the Chiefs one was.
honestly. I think it hurt the playoffs. I would have rather have seen the Ravens or Patriots advance. I think
It was fun seeing Derrick Henry lead.
It was a
Ravens Chiefs
cool
would have been
thing,
fun.
but like I think the
Pats
playoffs
offense,
hurt
I
because
don't know
of
if I
that.
would have wanted to see another Patriots Chiefs though, because like the Pats.
Yo, I was muted.
Who muted you?
No, my mic just cut off. Okay, carry on.
Did
Johnson?
you say you want to be muted? Can't no.
No.
Okay. I feel like would a Patriots Chiefs matchup been like that hype though?
No, but Ravens too. Moving on, like,
Ravens Chiefs would have been
Patriots
lit,
and Chiefs
because
would have
that
been
would've a
awesome. What are you
rematch.
talking about?
Mhm. The Pats offense versus the Chiefs
No, but, like-
defense just doesn't excite me.
No, but if they would have beat the Titans, you don't think that would have been more hype?
They
But
honestly
it would have
should have.
depended on what the game. If would they have won like 14-13 or would they have won like 35-7? I don't know.
What?
I feel like the Chiefs would win that. It would have.
I think the Chiefs would have won, but I think the hype would have been more exciting.
I agree with that. It would have been better though if the Patriots had beat the Dolphins and had played the Chiefs at home
Yeah.
rather than the
Yeah, well,
Dolphins
too bad
having
that
to.
didn't happen.
The Dolphins ruined
yeah.
everything. Mitch, don't you agree the Dolphins ruined everything?
Not really, because the Patriots would have lost anyways. Nick says, "Who's your sleeper team?"
I think that the Texans would have beaten the Ravens too.
They would
They
not
kinda-
have beaten the Ravens. The
The
Ravens
Ravens
beat
didn't
them
show
like
up
by.
in that game.
The Ravens beat
The
the
Ravens
Texans
did
by
not
like.
show up in that game.
The Ravens beat
The
the Texans by like 4 touchdowns. Like
I'm
earlier
gonna
in
say
the
this
year.
though: the Ravens did
D-Hop-
not show up in
D-Hop
that game at
got
all. They were
PI'd
not
though.
ready.
Yeah, but that was.
Oh yeah, he
that,
destroyed Gilmore on that. I mean, not Gilmore. Humphrey on that play.
I know
Dude.
they were
But
up like 21-3
that was
at
such a
that
PI,
point. What a
though.
game changer that would have made.
That was such a PI.
I know that was one of the worst calls. in the league last year, but they wouldn't have changed the outcome.
What else?
No, on the Steelers and Saints one last year, the Joe Hayden one.
What's our sleeper team, guys?
Who?
What do you say?
Our
Steelers
sleeper
and who?
team.
What?
Our
mean-
sleeper team. Do you hear me?
Sleeper team?
Yes.
I
So
think they're
this-
falling asleep.
Do the Cowboys count?
In the AFC, it's the Browns, and in the NFC, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
In the AFC, it's the Steelers. In the NFC, it's the Cowboys. Why are you guys cutting out?
I'm cutting out.
You cut out for like a second. Mitch has been cutting out a little bit.
I'm not cutting out. I'm right here.
No, you were like when you were trying to say the question.
Oh. Who's my sleeper team? Depends what you mean by that. I think the Cowboys are the NFC team, and I think the Browns or the Steelers count? I don't
I
know.
guess they
Steelers
count.
Um,
I'm gonna be talking.
I
all
think the
good about
Raiders
the
are slept on too.
I'm gonna be talking all good about the Cowboys, but then if Dilly Vanilli ever comes on here, I'm gonna
The
go
Lions,
straight back to saying
sleeper.
they're chokers.
The Lions. Go Lions. You guys still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
I'm here.
All right, should we wrap this up or what?
Sure.
Is there any more questions?
Yeah. Is there any more?
Doesn't appear like it.
Here, let me hop on real quick.
All right.
Okay. No, there's one. Let's end it off with this last question.
Okay.
If Chiefs had the 49ers defense, would they be the best team ever?
Yes.
Okay, I'm back.
Maybe. I don't know if. I don't know what
Maybe. I don't know.
They would be top 5. Okay,
Yeah.
so like if you put the entire Niners defense roster right now on the Chiefs, would they be the best team ever?
I don't
Keep
know.
the offense for the
What about if they
Chiefs.
mixed?
What?
I don't know if they'd be the best. They might be the most talented team ever.
Russell Wilson's not getting traded to the Bears.
But that would not happen. Why would the Seahawks even do that? Would
Yes,
they-
I love it unknown. All right. I think we're going to end
You
it
want to
there.
wrap it out?
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for joining. If you enjoyed Gronk Spike, the like button tomorrow.
Before we go.
Gronk Spike.
Before we go, just remember that I'm above immortality.
Yeah, whatever he
Cap.
said. Okay. Interior defensive linemen tomorrow. The top 20 will be out, and then the following day linebackers. So make sure to check that out. If you haven't already, also go check out the safeties list.
Subscribe.
Peace.
And join the Discord.
Yeah,
See
join
ya.
that Discord, guys.
See ya.